Ladies and gentlemen, what am I shaking here?
That, my
Boy,
friend,
I'm shaking, baby.
That's our sponsor.
There's our sponsor, Jets Steve Weisgau, with a brand new Jets, Jets. And I don't have anything on it. I'll tell you why. Because every single important team in New York City, the Jets, the Mets, the Knicks, Rangers, the reason I don't have it on is that I have to wear them all. So I went base color, and I'm talking about steel libido red, baby. Steel libido red, as you know, like a rock for every time. No side effects, no nonsense, just health. And in health is wealth. And in wealth is bootylicious. Because the other wealth, not so sure I've attained yet. So this is the wealth. Thank you, my friends. Erwin, we love you. All right, let's go. As I see on the big one, it's been a few. On the big one, which is today's, right now, right here, only one channel. What you don't understand is, that's it. We don't play away with all the other nonsense. We play one, baby. And let me ask you a question. What's the story behind that hat?
Well, I've had this hat going on 2 months at least. But when I got this hat, when I got this hat, the Jets had only used their legacy uniforms as a one-off last season. But the call from Jet Nation was so huge and so powerful and so libido maxed that because they were able to, by league rules, the Jets have changed their logo, gone retro to the 80s, early 90s.
That's it.
To this design.
And it is a fine design.
And the jerseys are back to that design. And you can go now to NFLshop.com and purchase a plethora of brand new Jet merchandise with this logo. One exception, you won't be able to get this hat. It was limited run. They don't exist anymore.
So in the plethora of merchandise that you mentioned, that doesn't exist.
This hat no longer exists because it was a limited run. But when you go to NFLshop.com or fansports.com,
I'm listening.
You will see that logo with the Jet flying across. And by the way, trivia question for you.
But you, please.
Who designed?
Let's just say one thing. Jets, Jets.
Who designed that logo back in the 80s? Do you know?
Say it again.
Who was the designer of this very logo back in the 80s when it first made its appearance?
Now I'm going to take a wild guess.
Go ahead.
It's not a designer.
That is true.
It was an ex-football player.
Who at the time was a current football player.
And I'm going to go with Curtis, my favorite Martin.
No, because he was not on the Jets back in the early 80s.
Oh, you said early 80s.
That's when this came about.
Oh, early 80s. That's right. I'm going to go with Mark Gastineau.
Okay. No, I'm going to give you a hint.
Okay.
For all those people.
But it's that team.
Guy was originally born and raised Englewood, New Jersey.
Around the corner from me.
That is correct.
Demarest, Kreskill, Tenafly, Englewood.
Englewood. He's from
My
Englewood.
mother lived in Englewood later for years. I spent a few months.
So that's where he's from. He played college football at Kutztown.
Oh, I wonder if he played high school at Englewood High, because then we would have played him.
Maybe Dwight Morrow.
Dwight Morrow.
He was ready.
He was
one more guess. One more hint. This will give it away, I think.
Not with me.
True.
Yeah.
He was a running back.
I was going running back, but I don't know that I'm going to
So,
get it.
running back
Yeah.
from Englewood, played at Kutztown. New York Jet player designed this logo.
Freeman McNeil.
No.
Yeah.
But when I tell you, you're going to know.
John Riggins.
Don Riggins is not from Englewood, New Jersey, and neither is Freeman McNeil.
Yeah.
Freeman McNeil played college ball at UCLA, not Kutztown.
Oh, was it the scat back? Yeah. I know who it is now. Oh, not Washington. Oh man.
Ready for this? He
Yes.
and I are the same height.
Yeah, no. I see him. And you're not the same color.
Definitely not.
Yeah, no, not related. He's closer to my color.
No. He's way beyond your.
Well, I'm closer to his color. Let's put it that way. My hair's closer to his color.
You want an initial?
Yes.
First initial is B.
I knew that too.
Last initial is H.
Yes, Bruce Harper. Oh, I knew it. I saw him in his face. I saw it when he said it. Bruce Harper designed that. And so he's getting residuals today.
Probably not.
No, yeah, they probably cut them out.
No, it's like anything. You work for a company, you design it, it's their
design. That's it. Yeah.
Anyway, that was your trivia moment.
Well, that was a hell of a trivia moment. It only took 3 minutes.
13. This is the new logo. I'm very excited. The draft, not this Thursday night, next Thursday night is the Jets are on the clock.
Next Thursday night, I will be partaking. I'm announcing now because of the draft in Steel Libido Red. Now there'll be many times beforehand that I partake, and that's the good part about it because you can handle it at any time. And the nutrients
all natural.
Yet the Magnum blood. Look, you may not be able to see that, boys and girls, but hold on.
Yeah.
Magnum blood flow.
Magnum.
Nitric oxide booster.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then with nitric oxide booster, support blood flow for maximum physical response.
There you go.
Maximum male physical response. Take it.
Yeah. So Jets currently pick number 10.
Okay, as I told you, Adunze is visiting today.
Adunze visiting today. There's a slim chance he's there. I don't think he'll be there.
Yeah, he might not be there at 10, but he
may not make it.
Because I think
but if he's there, I don't see why they wouldn't take him.
You take him. He might be there because now the rumor is 6 quarterbacks are going to go in the top 10.
That's what needs to happen. Or 5, minimum 5.
5 goes where he's there.
Better chance.
Yeah.
It's a better chance, but I don't think it's going to happen. Unfortunately, I am not a big fan of what the general consensus of 99.9% of the talking heads out there is. They think that the Jets will take the tight end from Georgia, Brock Bowers, who, don't get me wrong, kid's solid player, very good player, probably best collegiate tight end in the past 10 years. Just don't take him at 10. I can't do it. But the Jets are going to probably do that.
What might happen is they trade down.
I'd love for that.
Because a quarterback is still available.
That would be great.
Then they'll take him at 14 or 15.
I don't mind taking him at 15 or lower.
Right.
I just have a problem because there's so many tight ends out there. Listen, there's the elite 3 with Kelsey, Kittle, and Andrews. But after that, there's some real good guys. They put up really solid numbers. But wide receivers, to me, is a more important weapon in this league.
Unless you're Kittle, unless you're Kelsey.
Yeah, but all those guys I mentioned, Kelsey round 2, Kittle round 3, Andrews round 3. You don't waste the number 10 pick. The last guy to go in the top 10 is the kid in Atlanta, Kyle Pitts, who had a great rookie year, and he was the invisible man this year. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm bracing myself. It's not my favorite pick, but I think that's what they're going to do. Or they could really take a tackle, which would be more than fine with me, because the two guys we got starting didn't play complete seasons last year.
Right. No, we need a few more. We got a good line right now on paper, but
on paper,
but they may be papers, and that's it, because they may not last long. We need two or three fills in.
These guys didn't play
step in case, because we can't have last year again.
Can't repeat the same mistake. So for me, Adunze, sure. Fashanu or Fuaga, one of those two tackles.
Without a doubt.
Any one of those three guys, for me, if we stay at 10, that's what that's what I'm happy with. I got a bad feeling that Joe Douglas is going to take Brock Bowers. And again, nothing against the kid, solid player. I just think it's a reach for that kind of positional value at 10.
No doubt.
But we'll know next week.
That's true. Now,
yeah,
that's enough of the Jets.
Is it?
Well, it's never enough of the Jets.
Okay. Well,
let me tell you that there are.
Go to the Knicks, because I don't have a hat on.
Jets? No, we're going to Mets. We're going to Mets.
I don't have a hat on. All right.
Want to go straight to basketball then? All right, let's go. The Knickerbockers, baby. Who would have thunk? If you asked me.
We did ask you.
And what did I say?
Let me tell you something. I think we have it recorded on our last pod, but I believe you said that the Knicks could very well end up the 2 seed.
That was a month ago.
I was like, I don't know.
I said that a month ago. You know why?
That was when we had our last podcast.
Let me tell you why I was focused.
That was when we had our last podcast.
Which was like a month ago. Yeah. Value size, baby. That's what you get. You get value. Because if you ask me a question, I'm coming back with a steel libido red answer. Strong. I'm coming strong. Okay? And I did. You said it. And you said, well, mathematically, they're not. I
said mathematically, it's possible. I honestly thought.
Mark it here. Number 2. Now, if you went back to the beginning of the season and said, are they going to be the 2 seed? There's only one person who would have said that. That's right. And I most likely said the 1.
More than likely. But hey, the funny thing is, they were probably better off being the 3 seed.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people are saying, and it could be. But I'll tell you something. My daughter, Rowan, who lives in Brooklyn now and who goes to more games than me now, unfortunately, and gets to sit in the...
Well, proximity. She's there.
Yeah, she gets to sit in the front row. She sits
because she's hooked up.
Yes, she's got the hookups. So Rowan sits there, and she sends me a book, brings me a book for Christmas, because she's here. Blood in the Garden, the story of the 90s Knicks. And I'll tell you something. I'm reading that story full of, and rest in peace, Anthony Mason, George Oakley. It's not George Oakley, right? Charles Oakley. Charles Oakley, Pamela Ewing.
Pamela Ewing?
Pamela's his wife. Patrick Ewing, Johnny Starks, Derek Harper. Believe it or not, at one point there, the coach of Doc Rivers of some team now, also on the Knicks.
He wasn't on that squad
for like a year. He was.
He wasn't on the Ewing squads.
No, that's right. Okay,
with the Rod
but
Strickland,
all these
Rod
guys
Strickland.
I'm reading, and every one of them, not a superstar other than Ewing, but unbelievably important to their position and their thing on the foot. I guess you could call Charles Oakley a superstar because he just was so, his defense just shut you up and shut you down. So a quote A quote from the Bulls of that year from one of their players, Horace Grant, in the book says, you know, we would go into the Garden a lot of times in those days to play, and we were never sure if we were going to win because they played tough, but we were sure we'd come out with blood all over us.
Hey, listen.
Blood in the Garden.
Game. It's a different game.
But this team plays with that fire. And that's what makes them dangerous. You got guys like OG Anunoby all over the court, spreading out their wings. You got tough guys like DiVincenzo flying, boom, bomb, Hartenstein, boom. Robinson is back playing as good as he's ever played. And by the way, I think he's done more than this because
they test.
They test, so I don't know, but he's big as shit now from left to right. You know, he was always north-south, but he's big. And then you got guys like stepping up like McBride. You got these guys just playing their hearts out. I'm missing one very important player. I'm missing the most important player. Who, by the way, should be the MVP.
Well,
Jalen.
Listen, he's definitely in the discussion. Yeah, he should be in the discussion, no doubt.
Well, he has to be all-pro. He has to be first team all-pro. Name a better point guard in the East.
You can't. That guy is, listen, by definition, Jalen Brunson is the most valuable player to that team, bar none.
That's the point. So what I'm saying is you take away guys from that team, like you took away Embiid from Philadelphia. They were terrible. Now they're dangerous. He's back. You take away the Greek Freak from the Bucks. Even with Damian Lillard, they're iffy at best. You took away Randall. You took away Robinson. You took away OG Anunoby. They still played above 500 and held the ground and everything because of one guy, Brunson. And DiVincenzo hitting the ball from God knows where, shooting only second to Stephen Curry in threes.
It's impressive. So they're the 2 seed.
And they're going to open up against either the Heat or Philly.
I'd rather open against Philly, to be honest.
And I'll tell you why. The Knickerbockers, baby, can play guys big. They can stay with the big guys because they can rotate Hartenstein and Mitchell Robinson and not lose any defense, basically. You get a little bit more on body with Hartenstein, a little more blocking power with Robinson, but they're both good. They can both score, not 30 points, but they can make it. Hartenstein can shoot layups, shoot foul free throws. So if they start doing the hacker Robinson, they switch them out and it doesn't matter because Hartenstein can shoot the free throws.
Those guys are capable of getting 18 points a game, but I think what they're more capable is, to your original point, is they can hold Embiid in check.
That's right. And especially because they don't have to play them by themselves the whole time. Usually you have one guy who could stay with the guy, you take him off him for that amount of money. For that amount of time, he's scoring 12, 14, 16 points.
Yeah.
That's not happening with our guys. No. Whereas I don't like the matchup against Miami because they beat us last year when they shouldn't have. Butler's healthy. They have all these other, run around guys, and those guys bother us if anyone bothers us. Not too much bothers us.
I agree.
I still don't think they could beat us.
I think they have a better chance than the Sixers.
Yeah. Then the second round, we should go right through. And then there's a match that is coming against the Green Celtic Machine, who are on a mission to show that they're not a fluke getting to this place every single year and not winning anything else.
They are what the Buffalo Bills are doing in the NFL is what the Celtics are doing in the NBA.
I would take it even more. I think they're doing what the Buffalo Bills did back in the 80s.
Yeah, they're at that level.
Which I lost every one of those Super Bowl bets. Never lost more money than that straight 4 year.
4 years. 4 years. So good for the Knicks. So now we could do a quick little pit stop since we're in Madison Square Garden. We're there. The New York Rangers.
Rangers, baby, I believe clinched the #1 spot.
They did. They won the President's Trophy, so they're the #1.
They're the #1.
seed.
Okay. So I tell you something about the Rangers. And while I can't trippingly off my tongue tell you much about the names because they're always these weird Scandinavian, Canadian, something or other names. So I can tell you one thing. The goalie is for real. Two scoring centers for real. Both lines for real.
You win in the playoffs with a hot goalie. That's how you win.
And he's hot.
Yeah.
So he's like we used to have who was it? Richter? Who was the right? This guy reminds me of him.
Well,
so I'll be watching hockey religiously from this moment on now.
All right.
So
before we get into
you'll have more from me. So let's just
get into the final.
Rangers, baby. Go Rangers.
Let's go Rangers.
Go Rangers, go. Yeah, exactly.
So now, let's wrap it up here with
Leprechaun.
My lucky, ugly New York Mets hat.
Yeah, there's nothing more ugly than that, but
it is ugly.
But it's that kind of ugly you want to hug.
Let me tell you something. The New York Mets opened up the season with 0 wins and 5 losses.
0 for 5.
0 for 5. And the crying and the hand wringing. Whining.
Everybody out there.
Unbelievable.
They're not going to win 10 games. And they're the worst team. Maybe ever blow it up. Blow it up.
Oh, blow it up. The manager sucks. He's been there for a week. And then we go to Atlanta.
What did I predict? What did I say in the midst of all the hatred?
And then we go to Atlanta.
97 wins, I said.
You said, no. You always start with triple digits.
Yeah, but after the 0-5 start. I changed it.
Go to Atlanta, and we do something that we haven't done in, I would say, probably 6 years.
Close to a decade, for sure. 2015 might be the last time we did it.
We are down in the first, come back and win, and then we lose the next game. But in the third game, it gets rained out.
Yeah, but we lost the next game only by a run. We came back 6-5.
We come back after a rain out and win the game handily.
Mashed them.
Now, those 0-5 New York Mets, as of yesterday, are 500 baseball.
And only 2 games out of first place.
From the Atlanta Braves, who've been playing hot.
2.5, yeah, from the Braves, who are still hot. But let me just tell you something. We're playing today with Quintana on the mound. And I say it's bad news for the Pirates.
Well, listen, last night was another come-from-behind win by the Mets.
And
3-0.
And then
win 6-3.
We did what we've done over the last 2 weeks that we did in our 2021 season when we won 101. Or was that 22? Which was it? 22. It was 2000 because last time was the 23. Well, we used to do that all the time was if someone scored in the top of the third, we scored in the bottom. Correct. If someone scored in the bottom of the thing and we were at their thing, we scored in the top. Every time we followed them, we would score.
Correct.
We tied it up this time.
Here's another thing that the Mets did or have been doing in the past, I want to say 4 games, is something that the Mets haven't done, I want to say, in 20 years. And they played small ball. We had double steal last night, followed by another steal of third.
Ooh. This is beautiful. We had bunts. We had swinging bunts. We had, taken a pitch down, in the shoulder when he had
to. First time in 15 years, the Mets had back-to-back bunt singles.
That's what I say.
Small ball.
That's what I say to that.
Get this launch angle bullshit.
Bullshit. Let me tell you what launch angle does. Okay. It creates a lot of fucking can of corn pop flies.
Or strikeouts.
Or strikeouts.
There's only one thing that you can do to take for the right launch angle. When you want the right launch angle.
Now that's a whole different story.
That's the different. There you go. There you go. See that?
Magnum blood flow. If you want the right launch angle. And a launch angle that keeps on launching.
And the angle.
Yeah, and well, mine is a little like that. So it goes up.
Right.
It's like a corkscrew.
More than I needed to know. So Mets are just knocking on the door.
No, they're getting ready. They're getting ready to run off a really good run. And I'm going to tell you something. It's comforting because we can leave Martinez down there until he gets really healthy. And he'll be like a May, like some pickup that we got out of nowhere. And then Kodai Senga, who may not be back till June now. I mean, it's June. What it looks like. But that's like a mid-season pickup a little bit early. And it's like you go out there and get the best pitcher available, and we got him coming. And then I'm going to tell you something. If this team keeps playing like this, and we're in breathing distance of first, or we're in first, or we're in the wild card, or a game or two away, Cohen's not going to sit there and say, don't go out there. Let's wait till tomorrow. Cohen's going to call up Epler. Was that his? No, it's not Billy Ball. Steve Jones.
They fired Epler. Remember? Or he quit.
Yeah. Steve Jones.
No, that's the Sex Pistols guy, isn't it? Steve Jones?
Yeah.
No. Steve Jones is not the Sex Pistols guy?
Might be a Sex Pistol.
No, the guy you're looking for sounds like his name is one letter different than the former commissioner of basketball. That's your hint.
Rob Manfred.
One letter difference.
Rob Manfred.
No. Basketball.
Stern.
Except our guy has a
S.
There you go.
Stearns.
Yeah.
David Stearns.
There you go.
Ha! Don't put anything by me.
Hey, by the way, we almost missed this. You know what happened on Sunday at Citi Field?
Oh, how do we miss that?
Oh, we didn't. Almost.
The Doc, baby.
Doc Gooden.
And he couldn't have said it. He must have said it 17 times. I'm a Met.
You know what?
I'm always a Met. I'll always bet. I tried to call. They wouldn't take me.
That was what he said.
I tried to call. They wouldn't take me back.
He must have said that
5 times.
Say at least 6 or 7 times.
Yeah, he said it through he said he did it twice in the Yankee year, twice when he became a Red or whatever it was, twice when he became a Detroit guy, and every time they kept saying,
we have no room.
There's no room on the roster. There's no room
on the roster for you,
and
Doc.
then the people were booing because they thought he was talking about, and they kept saying, no, I'm a Met. His point was,
he was just,
I'm true blue and orange no matter what. That's what he was saying. And then he was sticking it to those creep Wilpons ownership, even though Lyle, I still love you, but he's not part of the ownership. He's just part of the family.
Yeah. But Doc Gooden had the old 16 put in the rafters.
Beautiful. When that came down.
Fantastic. We are about, what's today? April 16th. So May, June, we're about 3 months away from Darryl Strawberry getting his put up in the rafters.
Thank God, right?
And then, he looked great. He looked good coming back from that heart attack. Looked good. But big day for the Mets. We're at 500 looking across after being 0-5. Draft is Thursday night. Knicks are the 2 seed. And time for a pearl of wisdom.
Wow. Let me think of what I was Just thinking of this morning. That's a shame. I had a pearl of wisdom set, and then I thought of something else, and it made me want to go there, and I'm gonna go there.
Okay,
Okay.
let's go.
I want you to understand something. Okay. Over this last month and a half, more,
More.
3, 4, what, how many, when was the 7th? Was that October? No.
December, January, February, March, 6 months and change.
6 months ago, some useless piece of dog meat terrorist organization decided it would come in and disrupt a peaceful celebration of love and happiness and joy.
The music festival.
Music festival, like going into Austin Festival or
South by Southwest
or whatever, like that. And gun down, rape, kill, massacre, steal, kidnap. And what you would think would have been an aghast reaction from the world became, well, maybe because of this woke shit and everything, they deserved it. There's, they did it to the point where, no, that never happened. The video footage is bullshit. They made it up. So the prevalent nonsense around the world today is they make important things that don't exist more than reality just to create their TikTok world thing, the woke and everything. And what it's doing to humanity is dehumanizing it, because what's happening now is everything is the clickbait. What can they do to get the clickbait?
Yes.
And whether it's true or not,
doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Because once you get them rolling, you got 100 million people who saw that, and so around the world. So then they're already starting to think that way. So Israel, who's never attacked anyone in the history of the time, is getting all this persecution, so much so they get attacked by Iran, which is what everyone who was logically thinking was saying. Listen, this is being run by Iran. The Hamas are funded by Iran. Iran has already made it in their doctrine more than a dozen times. The prime minister, or whatever you call the leader of the president of the Iran, including Khomeini, who's their religious leader, who is also part of the death to Israel, death to the Jews. Clear as a bell, said it from his own mouth. This is what you're hearing. And that goes away. You know why it goes away? Because all of these people are desensitizing and not understanding what it is to be a individual of love and understanding. That doesn't mean you take shit, because you're a Jew, Steve. And if I walk up to you and smack you in the face, you don't turn your cheek and say, oh, please smack this one. I never bought any of that bullshit. If you get smacked, you defend yourself. If someone calls you a name, you say, okay, that's fine, and you walk away, maybe. Until it gets so bad that it's a name of, well, we're not allowed to use the N-word, but we also shouldn't use K-word for the Jews. But you don't hear the Jews running around calling themselves the K-word. Which I guess, should I say, in case people don't understand it?
No, you don't have to.
Okay, so there we go.
The point is what? Where are we going?
So, what I want you people to do out here, okay, is just understand that if someone is coming from a defensive, loving mode, and they're defending their homeland, they're defending their bed, they're defending their house, they're defending their significant other, children, grandparents, whatever, they have the right to take that stand. If there's a infiltration of their safety, their life, their livelihood, that is not evil. You might swing too hard, and then have to pull back because you realized, but in that moment, how do you know what you would do? How do you know out there, boys and girls, that if you were told you shouldn't exist, you should be swept off to the water, you should be squashed, you don't, everything you believe in is wrong, and God says so. And you're in a little dot amongst huge amount of the other guy, who, by the way, don't take in who you already took in.
True.
So, and let them vote, let them be on the council, are still on the council, okay? Let them become citizens, okay? If you become a citizen, you have to say that you're becoming Jewish as well in some of the society heights, but you couldn't become an American unless you would stand and say that you're an American and you stand by the American beliefs, and you have to swear to God, whether you actually believe in God or not. You have to do that for the thing. Those are certain rules. What I'm telling you, just take it to your heart. It's very easy to understand. If a group of people preach hatred, if a group of people preach kill the other man for believing this or believing that, if a group of people take their 14-year-old, 12-year-old children and put AR-15s in their hands and say, aim that way because there's a Jew over there, or there's a black over there, or there's a gay person over there, or there's not an infidel over there, because let it be known, they do not only hate the Hamas and all the ones like them, do not only hate the Jews. They hate them the most. But all you rainbow flag carrying people who I support, you can't go to Gaza. You can't go to Kuwait. You can't go to Saudi Arabia and wave that flag. You'll be on the top of the next building and off in no time. So take that into consideration. War is ugly. I hope to God we finally get through war. But it doesn't appear that humanity's come to a place where they figured it out yet. Let me tell you what gets you closer. You look at your fellow man, not for the color they are, not for whether they love Allah or the Torah or the Bible or Samaranadam from the Bhagavad Gita. That's the word I was looking for. Not for any of that. You look at them and say, hello, how are you? Well, they say, I'm fine. How about you? That's a good person. If you look at them and you say something like, hey, are you a Jew? And that's their response to you, that's not a good person. That's a person that's in judgment already. There's no religion on the planet that says we're supposed to do the judging. If there is a God, and I don't know, I'm not the master of ceremonies here, that can tell you that. I promise you, an omnipotent being doesn't care. As long as you're in love with life and the universe and balance there, they don't care what religion you are. They don't care anything. You don't get turned away from the pearly gates because you're this or you're that. You get embraced in because you're loving in life. So please, please, people out there, get smart. Stop this hatred. Stop jumping on the bandwagon because they're preaching all this nonsense out there, and that forget about the truth of the fact that the Jews were there for more than 5,000 years. Okay. And that Muslim religion is only 700 years old, as opposed to everything else that they tell you about it. They're good people out there in every color, in every creed, in every religion. There are good, loving people, and that's what matters. I don't buy into half the stuff that they put in front of me today, but I don't hate any of you for your choices. Not one. When you hate me, that's enough, because I don't have your belief. Now I have an issue with you. I won't take it to hate, but I have an issue unless you do what was done to Israel. But you take that away from that, if you don't like my belief, if you're a born again Christian and you tell me I'm not going to heaven because I don't buy into everything that you say, I say, fine. If that's what you believe, that you're fine with that, let's go have a beer. I don't have a trouble with you. If you're a Jew and tell me that I should be wearing the Star of David, and I'd say, well, while I'd probably align with Judaism more than any other religion, I'm just not religious. Can we get past that? Let's go have a beer. That's it. So the next time that you hate, that you judge, that you act because someone told you something that you don't even understand, they'd say from river to the sea, you don't even know what river they're talking about. Okay? The next time that someone said that, say, you know what? I would rather have a beer. I would rather steal libido, have some fun, create love than any of this filthy, dirty hatred that's all over the planet today.
So there it is. Create love.
Thank you.
There you go.
And spin a dreidel.
No
one ever got hurt from spinning a dreidel. Okay?
True. I will say, usually I end on a very boisterous note, but that was a very heartfelt, somber pearl of wisdom. So respectfully, I'm just going to say that's Broadway Blanchard over there.
And that's Steve over here. Wise gal.
We appreciate you. Be good to yourselves.
Spread
be
love.
Good to your friends. Be good to your neighbors. Be good to your family.
Spread love.
And we'll see you next time. How about that?
Thank you.
All right.
Namaste.
Namaste.